Hey, well, good morning to you. I think it's still morning time. Hey, I just want you to know something. Hey, I got a word for you. I want to share something with you that I think is very important right now. So, hey, won't you join me real quick? Tag some people, let them know that we're right here and we got some stuff we want to share with them. All right? So it's so critically important. And yep, we got to keep pushing. We got to keep moving. But I need you to know, without a shadow of a doubt, here's where we are and here's what's so critical. Listen, you've been hearing me over the past few months, and you've been hearing what I've been saying, and I thank you for your support. I thank you for those things, because I'm telling you, it's very important. I think it's very important, and here's what I think is the most important thing, that every person gets to live in a family-friendly community. That's it. You know, man, it's been over 15 years ago. Over 15 years ago, on this weekend, I had a very bad car wreck where I died a few times. And what that did to me was, it really turned me up. It turned me up in regard to my purpose and why I was created, right? And why did God bring me here, okay? And why did He allow me to live? And it really just turned me up. It really changed my mindset. It changed my thinking. Now, I'd always tried to live on purpose, right? I attempted to live on purpose. I learned about purpose from Dr. Miles Monroe, but I really wanted to live my life on purpose, for a purpose. So, after that car wreck and after dying 3 times, it struck me in such a way to make me understand, man, that God doesn't make mistakes. And He left me here on purpose, right? So that's been my passion. That's been my desire. So when things happen in our community, my heart is burning, because one thing, I've served in Jackson, Mississippi, man, for over 30 years. I've been in Jackson. I've been pastoring for over 26 years. So when I see the pain in the state of Mississippi, when I see the pain in Mississippi, man, it is deep for me. And you know the issues that I've been talking about, and those things that have come up over and over again. But I want you to understand my passion. My passion is, I believe every person should be treated fairly. I believe every person deserves the right to live. I think people should be able to live, listen, in family-friendly communities. And in family-friendly communities where children can play outside without fear, where adults can go on walks with one another and with their children without fear. And as we know, many of our communities are not like that. And here's what I'm saying. I want family-friendly communities in my city. I want family-friendly communities wherever we are, regardless of the socioeconomic background, regardless of whether it's a poor, disenfranchised community or a wealthy community. People deserve to be safe in their community. And I want you to understand this. I've never been against good policing. I've been for police all of my ministry in life, actually. Right? However, I want to make sure that it's fair for everybody. That's it for me. Fair for everybody. I don't want crime. I want criminals off the streets and rehabilitated and given another chance. Why? Because I believe everybody's redeemable. Every person is redeemable. I know I'm just at a period, and I'm here and I'm changing, right? And I'm changing. Every day I'm changing. And this time of the year is very important to me, because this is the time of the year where I died, right? And I wrote a book about it called Walking with Limps, but I wanna make sure that I live on purpose. And here's what I want you to understand: in Jackson, Mississippi, Chicago, Illinois, wherever you are, I want you to understand this, that every person in every family deserves to live in safety. They deserve to live free of fear from criminal activity or from rogue police officers. They deserve to live in safety. And they deserve to live a life of freedom. And here's what I'm saying. I believe every person is redeemable. I believe every community is salvageable. I believe every city can prosper. But we gotta have people in place that care about everybody. Not people who show favoritism to the wealthy and disdain for the poor, and not people that show favoritism for the poor and disdain for the wealthy. We got it on both sides. What I'm saying to you is, let's fight for family-friendly communities together. That doesn't mean that people are not held accountable. People must be held accountable, no doubt about that. Criminals must be held accountable. Criminal police officers must be held accountable. Criminal government officials must be held accountable. Criminal pastors must be held accountable. But here's what I'm saying to you. Everybody's redeemable. But the only way we can do this together. Man, my friends and people that are close to me, people that know me, they know my passion for people and my passion for community. And one of my best friends in the world told me, man, I see you and I hear you, and I know you gotta get some rest, because, Barbara, the way I live is, once something grabs me, it's night and day for me. I can only sleep a few hours because I'm thinking about how to solve it. You know what we desired in Jackson was answers from the Capitol Police. We wanted answers. That's all we wanted. And I think when we live and we deal with what we're dealing with, it just creates an environment that nobody can live the life we were intended to live. I read something I want to read to y'all, and I'll write it in a post, but it really struck me. And this is kind of a moment of confession for me, a moment of humility for me, a moment of transparency. And it was written by Dr. Martin Luther King. Here's what it said. He said, I should have been reminded that disappointment produces despair, and despair produces bitterness. And that the one thing certain about bitterness is its blindness. Bitterness has not the capacity to make the distinction between some and all. When some members of the dominant group, particularly those in power, are racist in attitude and practice, bitterness accuses the whole group. I want to tell you something. On top of everything else that has happened, when Jalen Lewis was killed and the police refused to give any answers to that mother and that family, I began to get bitter, and I began to get angry. And the Bible says, be angry and sin not. And I was right there on the edge. I was really bitter. I was bitter when my son was harassed for no reason. I was bitter when I heard the story of Pastor Sherman Thomas. I was becoming more and more bitter. I was bitter when I heard the story of Scott Fortenberry and how he was treated. I was becoming bitter. And all these others that have been mistreated, I was becoming bitter. But one thing I always said to you, I would never stand and march against police unless we were going to march against all violence. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying violence in our communities and violence by the police, none of that can go under our watch. I just want you to hear me. And I know I'm gonna lose some people, and I know some people gonna say, oh, he just like the rest of them. No, I'm not just like the rest of them, man. I know the Lord, and it's in me. It's in me. I can't hold bitterness and be all right. So we gotta stand up against all crime. But I don't want to put all crime in the same category, because it's not in the same category. Crime in our community is not in the same category as crime that is done by those that are paid and hired to serve and protect. But at the end of the day, we must be against all violence. So I want you to join me on this. I want you to join me on a crusade to produce family-friendly communities. Whether you're in Natchez, Mississippi with James Berry, whether you're in Jackson, Mississippi, whether you're in Itabena, Mississippi, or Greenwood, Mississippi, or Tupelo, Mississippi, or Memphis, Tennessee, or Dallas, Texas, or Chicago, Illinois, or the Philippines, wherever you are, New York City, it doesn't matter. We must fight for family-friendly environments. We need family-friendly communities. We want accountability. But I want you to understand, at the end of the day, Mae Brown, I believe all people are redeemable. I stand on that, and I really believe that. I believe that all people are redeemable. So I'm asking you to stand with me as we stand with others and other organizations. Let's fight for a family-friendly environment where love and radical love, the love that Jesus talked about, the love that led great leaders, but we got to stand together. And we can, by the grace of God, produce family-friendly communities. All right? Hey, so God bless you. Thank you so much for praying for me and with me. Thank you for even hearing me as I share this, because it's critical to me that you understand. And we're going to keep on pushing, no doubt about that. We're going to keep fighting for justice. We're going to do that. But justice got to be for all people. And our aim is we do not and cannot afford to become bitter. And we cannot afford that all are the same way. All people of color are not the same way. All white people don't feel the same way. All police officers are not bad. All politicians are not crooked. So I want to challenge you. Don't become bitter, but let's become better. We can do this together. Together, we can build family-friendly communities. And God bless you. Peace.